Have not been in front of a camera in so long. Um, I guess I'm just here to just clarify a few things and let you guys know where I'm at. So, I believe the last time that I had uploaded here on my channel, on my podcast channel, was back in March, and I had just stated that my grandma passed away. We're now in November 2nd, Sunday. Um, and I had just been thinking for the longest time how I would return to the podcast, what I was gonna do. I think the last time you didn't even see my face, it was just the audio um, podcast. But yeah, I'm here. So what happened? After my grandma passed, I decided to just take a break from everything. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to be creative. I really didn't want to do anything. I just really kept close-knit relationships, built new ones along the way, um, and also just try to live the new normal that I'm in. It's crazy because I've definitely heard a lot of people say this with loss, especially who you were a full-time caretaker of. You're now on your schedule. You're not reliant on somebody else's schedule. It's just you. You have time. And so I have so much time now that for the longest time, I didn't know what to do with my time. I always felt that I needed to be busy. I didn't let myself rest. I didn't have a job, so I felt so out of place because I was like, I have all this time. I can be creative, but I didn't want to be creative. So, what essentially do I do? Um, I kept on continuing looking for jobs. Thank God I found one. I started in August. But because of how our Lord and Savior is, which I've always said, I think the last time I was talking about God and phrases in the Bible and just like trusting Him and trusting His plan or whatever He has for you. Because a month before me starting this job, I had to get surgery. I was for a while, or not a while, for a few days prior, I, I guess after my grandma had passed away, I just felt like I needed to do a reset in my body. I wanted to lose weight again because I had regained all the weight that I had lost. But then through morning, I just didn't want to do anything. And so what my mom and I started doing was we would go on walks here. I live by the Kia Forum here in Los Angeles. So we decided to just go every weekend in the morning or every day in the morning. We would go and walk because I didn't have a job. My mom was freshly retired. Um, we wanted to, keep our minds busy in a way to just overcome our grief. And that was also our way of like every morning checking in with each other. And so we did that. And then I remember the date specifically. It was July 24. Or I'm sorry, 23rd. My mom and I, we went to the grocery store. We went to Costco. We got the essentials that we needed. We hadn't really figured out what we were gonna have for lunch. In Costco, I saw their sushi. I was like, I'll get sushi. I don't know what. Sorry, my dog's right here. If you hear sounds. But yeah, I was like, I'm gonna get sushi. She was like, okay, let's get sushi. I got a tray of sushi. I ate the tray of sushi. When we got home, a few hours later, I wasn't feeling so well. I was like, I don't want I don't know. I felt like I had eaten too much sushi, and my mom like kind of agreed with me. She was like, "I think you ate too much. Um, just drink this medicine, you'll be fine." I did. The next day, I felt the same. I didn't really eat. I hadn't had a bowel movement, and that's what stressed me out. So I went to the store and I got a laxative to just let my body do its thing. Third day comes around. I still hadn't had a bowel movement. I had a huge pain in my stomach. I then was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna take a shower, relax my body again with a heating pad, and go from there. See what is gonna transpire. I did that. I lay in my room. I can't find a comfortable position. I like can't even get up because of so much uncomfortability and pain. I text my mother like saying like, "Hey, can you come to my room?" She comes to my room. Before I explain to her what I'm feeling after she had asked me, I just start shaking as if I were to have a seizure. And my mom freaks out. She tries to take my blood pressure to just see what my heart rate is. She can't, the machine can't read me because I'm shaking violently. And so she just says, you know what? No, we're going to urgent care. She takes me, we go to the car, we get to urgent care. At Kaiser, I get there. And this is kind of like where the disheartening part of the story is because I got there, I explained to the ladies in the check-in at urgent care my symptoms, that I had been not only not having a bowel movement, I threw up, um, I was severely dehydrated. I felt nauseous. I had a headache, and I hadn't gone to the bathroom in like what was 2.5 days. Um, the ladies kind of just brushed it off, told me to sit down. They checked me in. They believed that I was pregnant. I was not pregnant. I told them many times that I wasn't pregnant. Um, And even if I was pregnant, I told them that would have been the first thing that I would have said that I was pregnant. But I'm in pain. Um, Luckily, the other team that was inside of the urgent care, there was a gentleman. He was very nice. He took my blood pressure. He listened to what I was feeling. He told me the doctor would come and check on me. He also took my blood because he wanted to know, with all this pain, if I had some sort of infection. Um, they took my blood, they ran it through the lab. The doctor in the urgent care came in. I went over my symptoms with him too. He checked my stomach. I had a huge pain in my stomach. And he told me that in my blood work, my white blood cell count was extremely high than normal. So it looked like my body was fighting an infection or what seemed to be a sort of infection. So he's like, we're going to go send you to radiology to get a CT scan. You'll get the CT scan. I'll read it immediately. It'll take 5 minutes. By the time I get it and read it, it'll be 15. That's what I did. The same gentleman who took out my blood walked me to radiology because I could barely walk because of the pain. They took the CT scan I sent back. In the end, they told me it was my appendix, that I had acute appendicitis. The surgical team came in and told me that I needed to immediately register myself into the ER so that I could stay overnight in the hospital. Unfortunately, they weren't able to perform the surgery that night. They had to wait until the following day because the schedule for surgery was full and there was no like little sliver in their schedule to uh, I guess, fit me in there. And I was in the hospital and I was terrified. I was scared because I had never in my entirety of my life, in my 28 years of life, had ever gone through a surgery. Like how I explained the surgical team when they asked me that, I was like, the biggest thing that I've ever had done to myself was getting my wisdom teeth taken out. So with that, the being put under didn't affect me really. So they saw that as a good sign because my body was already used to anesthesia. It wasn't going to be the first time. Obviously, I couldn't eat anything or drink anything for at least 8-12 hours. It was planned my surgery at 10 a.m. It got pushed back to 1:30, close to 2 o'clock. They took me in. They then prepped me for surgery. A lot of things were happening very fast. I really, really appreciated the surgical team, the doctors. They all listened to me. They were all very caring gentlemen. The nurses in the ER, or I'm sorry, the nursing team of the surgical anesthesiologists, all of them went above and beyond. And I guess like the part of this was that that's like kind of like the way that I saw like God was moving in there with me in the hospital because I was so nervous, but everybody was so reassuring. Mostly people listened to me. Post surgery, the nurses, the 5 nurses that were taking care of me were all wonderful. They're 10 out of 10. I don't have zero complaints about them. They are the greatest. They helped me with everything and anything that I needed. Um, Post surgery, coming home is where it was the game changer because essentially, when you get your appendix removed, you lose all sensitivity and like knowledge of how much you use your core muscles. So basically, from like under, I don't know if you can really see it on camera, but your torso, from like your torso down, you use all the time. For any little thing, you use it. So you lose those strengths completely. So post surgery, you have to have somebody who's going to help you with everything. And I mean everything: going to the bathroom, showering, getting up, sitting down, laying down, moving you in your bed. So many things that are such an account for. And post surgery, and because of how the surgery works, they like basically put in air or gas in your body to expand and move all the organs so that they could really see where your appendix is and not accidentally cut the wrong thing. So that's what they did. They went in through my left side, grabbed my appendix, take it out. When they had already basically clipped my appendix and was taking it out, she burst it. So essentially, they had to put in a drainer. So I had a drainer for about a week. Then I had to go take it out. They took out the drainer. Not recommend being taken out of the drainer. The drainer is, I think that was the most like part of the entire thing. But like how I said, really, God, all the angels that I have in Helman, including my grandma, were really there. And they really gave me the strength to get up again. And I also just like thank God for the job that I have because they were very understanding in the fact that I needed more time and I needed an extra week before I started because I got my surgery July 25th. I was supposed to start my job currently that I have on July 28th. And so speaking with HR, talking to everybody, them fully understanding everything, me having to move my day once and then again because when I went to go in a week post surgery was supposed to be the day I was supposed to start, but that was the day that they were going to take out my drainer. And so they moved in another week. I started that week. They were very grateful, very understanding. Till this day, they ask me how I'm doing. And right now, I'm doing great. Honestly, not sponsored, but just because I have them in front of here. Bloom has helped me with my stomach issues because post surgery, I've had a lot of stomach issues. Obviously, your body just goes through a huge shift and a huge change of everything. Um, so I had my surgery July 25th. July, August, September, October. We're now in November, so I'm about 4 months post-op. Um, and I feel fine. There are some certain things, like I'm saying, my bowel movements aren't quite there. Like there are some days where they're fine, some days where they're not. Sorry, TMI. But this is a safe space. Here we are. Um, and I just feel like how I said in the beginning, God really wanted me to reset and He wanted me to find myself again. And here I am. I found myself again. I'm happier. I've never felt more at peace and more in control of my body, if that makes any sense. Like prior to this, I didn't like my body at all. I knew I needed to change. I didn't want to do the change. I was so comfortable with how it looked like. And God was like, you know what? This is the last test. This is the last thing that I'm going to have you go through so that you could actually change your life because I want the best for you and I love you. And that's what happened. And here I am. Um, and I have my little prayer journal, which I will most likely use more. The last time I wrote in here was back in June. But yeah, I wanted to do that. And the next part is, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. Genesis 1st, 1:3. And I guess to just close out this podcast episode as an update, as like me overcoming a lot of things. And also, I'll unplug it right now because I'm charging it. But before I go, I did get this Steady X3 XE on TikTok. I'm so excited to use it. It's so cool. Let me turn it on so that you guys could see her magic. Crazy. I'm going to use this for like vlogging. It's so steady. I love it. Yeah, just because I am starting a Bible study over Zoom, which I'm so excited for. Shout out. You guys know her. You guys love her. My friend Pam. She has also been such a person who has checked in on me, prayed for me, continue praying for me in this time. And I guess this message for you, Pam. I love you so much. You're such a great human. I can't wait to see where God takes us in our friendship. I'm so glad we're both on this journey of walking with the Lord. I can't wait to do that Bible study with you and also that brunch slash dinner so that I could meet your peoples in your study group. But yeah, I guess we'll just close this out with a random passage in the Bible. Let's see. Oh, beautiful. See, look how God works. Psalm 9 for the director of music to tune the death of the Son, Psalm of David. I will give thanks to you, Lord, with all my heart. I will tell all of your wonderful deeds. I will be glad and rejoice in you. I will sing the praises of your name, O Most High. My enemies turn back. They stumble and perish before you, for you have upheld my right and my cause. Sitting enthroned as the righteous judge, you have rebuked the nations, destroyed the wicked, you have blotted out their name forever and ever. Endless ruin has overtaken my enemies, and you have uprooted their cities. Even the memory of them has perished. The Lord reigns forever. He has established his throne of judgment. He rules the world in righteousness, and the judges the people with equity. The Lord is a refuge of the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble. The Lord who knows your name trusts in you, for you, Lord, have never forsaken those who seek you. Sing the praises of the Lord enthroned in Zion. For he who avenges blood remembers, he does not ignore the cries of the afflicted. Lord, see how many enemies persecute me. Have mercy and lift me up from the gates of death, that I may declare your praises. In the gates of daughter Zion, and they rejoice in salvation. The nations have fallen into the pit they have dug. Their feet are caught in the net they've hidden. The Lord is known by his acts of justice. The wicked are ensnared by the work of their hands. The wicked go down to the realm of the dead, all the nations that forget God. But God will never forget the needy. The hope of the afflicted will never perish. Arise, Lord, do not let mortals triumph. Let the nations be judged in presence. Strike them with the terror, Lord. Let the nations know they are only mortal. Amen. I love that. I love that. I love doing that. Also, I love just opening a random passage in the Bible and just reading it. Because I feel like that's God's way of telling me this is what you need right now. And that is what I need right now. I needed that. I needed him to tell me that I will be fine, that everything is going to be fine, that I will perish and I will come out righteous. And I love that. And I also hope that I can do more vlogs. I am going to do more videos. I'm going to be more on my creative because that's what I told the Lord that I would do. That's why I bought that selfie stick for vlogs. I'm charging it right now. That's why I'm doing this podcast this podcast mini episode so that I could just be back. I've done many little TikToks here and there of like get ready with me's and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm excited to continue with this. I feel like I've mentioned it to everyone and their mother at my work, and I feel like I need to update stuff. So, yeah, here I am. I miss this. I'm fine. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Anything that you want me to do, leave it down below. People that you want me to talk about, leave it down below. Want me to read more of the Bible, leave it down below. I'll take any and every suggestion. I love you. God bless you. And happy Sunday. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.